My name is Janine. I am the founder of Kin & Kind, and I was sued by my landlord and almost lost my business.
This is my work through failure story.
It all started with a letter saying I'm responsible for a $30,000 fire system, a sprinkler system in the building. We make organic grooming products for dogs and cats. And at the time, the landlord was trying to sell the building. And when they did an inspection, they found out that he needed a sprinkler system. So obviously I don't have $30,000 for the sprinkler system, and it's not my building. So I felt it wasn't my responsibility. And when I refused, he started a lot of bully tactics, threatening me, threatening my neighbors. The landlord would actually come into the building to the point where I had to call the police on him to have him removed physically from the building because he refused to leave. When it first started, I was pretty nauseous. I was pretty sick to my stomach. He actually told my neighbors that if I didn't sign these documents, that they were going to shut down the entire building, put me in a really awkward spot. His lawyer came in trying to get me to sign false documents saying it's my responsibility. The whole thing was just horrible. I was constantly stressed. I was so overwhelmed with everything. Anytime you get a phone call from a lawyer or a letter from a lawyer, it's terrifying. You like never know what it says. You're trying to read it. You don't understand anything. He had a letter from the town made up saying that they were going to put a lock on the door within a few days if I didn't put the sprinkler system in, and that I was going to be evicted. Luckily at the time, my twin brother is a lawyer, so I looked at him for advice. My brother calls the town. The town has no idea what they're talking about. Obviously, that's not true. It's still agonizing, even though my brother is a lawyer telling me it's okay, because this is actually my livelihood. This is how I pay for all my bills. So we go to court. Coming up to that court date was absolutely terrifying. I knew it was going to finally be the end, but at the same time, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. And the judge finds out that my brother's actually a New York lawyer, and we're in New Jersey. So the judge feels like it's not right for him to represent me basically at court, even though my brother was a partner in the business. So the judge looks at Thomas, says, "You're not a New Jersey lawyer, and you're not allowed to represent this case." I'm still okay at this point. I'm like, well, he'll just be next to me. He'll just tell me what to say. Yeah, same thing. And as soon as we sit down, my brother starts to talk, and the judge looks at him and goes, no. It's like, I'm giving you a courtesy. You're only allowed to sit here. You're not allowed to speak. If you speak again, you'll be kicked out of the courtroom. Thomas looks at me. He goes, we weren't planning on this, but today you're going to be a lawyer, and you have to win. I told that judge exactly what he did to me, exactly what that man tried to do, all his tactics, all his lies. And I remember the judge leaning off his counter, and he looked at me like, tell me what he did. He looked with like puppy dog eyes. He had sympathy for me. I knew it. I was like, at that moment, I was like, we won. This guy knows the truth. Judge goes back with all the paperwork, looks it over. Felt like forever. Like I say, he's back there deciding who wins and loses this case. And he finally comes out. And he starts talking some legal stuff about how, legally this, legally that. And my twin brother is getting nervous at this point. He's writing, we lost, down on the piece of paper. I remember looking at him, I shook the piece of paper like, shh, we got this, don't worry, we're gonna win. I remember trying to hush him, and all of a sudden the judge's attitude completely changed, and he started talking about all the illegal things that the landlord actually did, that these were all horrible tactics that he played, and he totally believed me, understood that it was completely wrong, everything he did. Oh my God, I remember I was overjoyed. And my brother finally, starting to realize we won. Starts writing it down, we won, hitting the table. He was so excited. I remember laughing, thinking, not only did you lose, you lost to me, You're not even my brother. My brother didn't even have to beat you. Sometimes you got to stand up to somebody. You're doing the right thing, that you're not in the wrong, and you can't let people get away with things like that. And I think it wouldn't have stopped if somebody didn't finally stand up, doing it for other people, so this doesn't just keep happening.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I have a confession to make. I have failed many, many times, and so have you. And that is why I produced this WTF story, so that you and I could feel a little bit less alone. So if you want to learn more about founders who have overcome their challenges and worked through their failures, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell to turn on our notifications.